What's up world? My name is Itemir, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I'm a tech professional. This is my very first vlog. It's about my trip to Doha, Qatar. If you ask me why Doha, I'm originally from Kazakhstan and was heading there for vacation. It just happened to be one of the best midpoints between the US and my home country. I've been there before and really liked it, so this time I thought it'd be really cool to explore more of the city. Feeling super tired. We're staying in Hotel Rotana City Center. I'm so tired, I just can't talk. Going to take a bunch of pictures and videos and test my camera. Pretty excited about the day. Qatar has always been the world's largest exporter of liquefied natural gas. That's kind of where the wealth started. Similar to other GCC countries, they're working on diversifying its economy by putting money into banking, tourism, tech, education, and more. I spent 7 days in Doha, revisiting favorite spots, hanging out with friends, meeting new people, and creating vibrant memories. One thing I love about this city is the truly mesmerizing architecture. The highlight for every tourist would be the local museums. So this particular one is called the Museum of Islamic Art. It's a 5-story building with a really pleasant interior where you can see historical artifacts from North Africa and Eurasia. They built this place on an artificial island, and it really has the best view of the city skyline. And they also have a really cool gift shop on the first floor. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Next up is probably the most unexpected type of museum you would think of, the Sports Museum. It opened in 2022. There are 7 themed galleries covering everything from the ancient Olympics to modern-day F1. It shows how sports evolved pretty much from the 8th century BCE to today. The highlight for me was definitely the Hall of Athletes. One of the few places where you can see boxing gloves signed by Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan's Nikes, and much more. One thing I really appreciate as a tourist is how visually aesthetic and thoughtfully designed these exhibitions are. Speaking of, here's the most impressive, and frankly my favorite one, the National Museum. As someone who appreciates great visuals, I like this one the most. The whole place is filled with pavilions projecting vivid imagery and high-quality films. This makes it super immersive. Overall, you'll notice a strong push to grow tourism in Doha, which explains a lot of impressive art spaces emerging across the city. There's a clear rise in new galleries, exhibitions, and even fashion and photography projects. For example, this is the Fire Station, a modern art exhibition space which is located a bit farther from downtown. Meeting old friends and making new ones was one of the biggest highlights of this trip. This time around, I had a chance to connect with people from my home country. The first person I met was Nurbol, who goes by Nurba. Nurba and I go way back to the early days when we followed each other on Instagram, just as photo and videography enthusiasts back home. He now works full-time as a video producer for a local food delivery startup, and basically he's the dude who makes social media content and really wears many hats as a content creator. We caught up about his projects and his very first impressions of living in Doha. He moved here just a few months ago, and like anyone living abroad for the first time, he's faced a fair share of different cultural challenges. We strolled around Lusail downtown, rode scooters, took pictures, and had long chats about life. It was sunny and a little windy, just pleasant to be outside. One of the days, Nurba gave me a tour of his company's office, the startup called Snunu, a locally built super app that delivers food and groceries. You can see their bikes and cars literally everywhere in the city. They work from office most of the days, and just like in any tech company, they have open space office with game rooms and a bunch of amenities. Nurba also showed me his production studio, and yes, I did confirm that he uses the company PC to play Counter-Strike after hours. I also met with a bunch of friends from Central Asia, each working across diverse industries, from insurance and energy to hotel management and restaurants. They all seem to have a solid work-life balance and just decent lifestyles in general. People from across the globe live and work in Doha. As it turns out, some of them even studied here. Which brings me to another interesting part of this trip. This is Education City, a huge campus on the west side of Doha. What's cool about it, instead of building brand new universities from scratch, they partnered with top Western schools and opened local branches here. They've got Northwestern, Georgetown, Texas A&M, Carnegie Mellon, and more. The whole campus looks great, super clean and minimalistic. The place that really impressed me here was the National Library. On the first floor, or I should probably say the basement level, there's this small maze filled with authentic literature. The rest of the building is this huge open space filled with shelves, desks, and spots where students and visitors can hang out or study.
So I'm sitting here and thinking, what is it really that attracts me here in Doha, Qatar? I think it's the peace and quiet. It really seems to be very calm, quiet, just in general really nice. You would kind of expect it from a new country in the Middle East, but I just can't stop being amazed.
The sense of peace really stands out. Visually, everything feels clean, balanced, and in harmony. It's calming in a way that just draws you in. One thing I have to mention is that some of the places here are actually walkable. The trip took place in December and the weather was perfect, around 66 degrees or 18 degrees in Celsius. This time, I saw a lot of people out with families, hanging out in parks and along the waterfront. This is Souk Wahif, the traditional market in the heart of the city. Here, you'll find all kinds of local handicrafts, street food kiosks, and restaurants. Definitely worth checking out both during the day and at night. You'll also see tourists and locals at the Old Port, which is another must visit. A one-of-a-kind spot where traditional architecture blends with a modern look.
Я пью такой вот вкусный чай, классный, карак. Здесь, короче, он очень аутентичный. Если я правильно выразился.
When it comes to food, I went to all kinds of places and noticed that they brought pretty much every popular restaurant chain from Europe and North America. One of the most memorable food experiences was the restaurant by the name of Bayit Shark, a restaurant serving traditional Qatari food. What I figured during this trip is when you see a lot of Qataris themselves in these restaurants, it's a big sign that this place is special. As far as bars, I would recommend this very special place that I discovered back in 2023. Provok is a 2-star spot with a skyline view and is popular for its appetizers and drinks. It's located in Lusail on the top floor of Qatar Tower. The vibes were immaculate. For the most part, I'd say I have very positive impressions of Doha. This place is clearly built with a long-term vision in mind, and while yes, they've had the advantage of wealth and resources, doing it right is still not easy. I genuinely wish them luck because what they're trying to build here is both ambitious and inspiring.
Чё смотрим?